right. All right, so we're going to be going over chapter 21, business basics and planning. So some of the objectives, you're going to learn how to sell and market training services to potential clients, learn how to price training sessions, learn how to maintain professional standards that will protect a business reputation. So an introduction, you need to have knowledge of business, of personal training. It's really important to have knowledge about selling and marketing services, pricing training sessions, and maintaining professional standards. So before you start, you need to have a business plan, business models, budgeting, and you really need to find a work-life balance because when you own your own business, it's really easy just to get like sucked into the business and just spend all your time there. So it's really important that you also focus on your mental and your personal life. The personal trainer's position, setting or job classification. So you can be solo personal trainer, employee or independent contractor, manager or business owner. And then some consumption models, percentage of revenue. So that's basically like you get a percentage of the services you offer. And then hourly or salary plus commission. Salary plus commission, that's like you get your normal base pay, and then you also get like a certain percentage of your sales or your services you offer. All right, so sample conception models for personal trainers. The pay is about $42.50 per hour, so that's actually pretty high. Some of the position perks increase hours or sessions to make more money. I think the baseline salary in Plattsburgh is $59K per year, so that's actually pretty high. You can look at the rest of the chart here. So employment estimate and mean wages. So it looks like there's going to be a slight rise in employment. The mean hourly wage is $19.70 an hour. Mean annual wage is $40,970. So you can see what the top 90% made and the bottom 10% made. And according to this chart, New York is actually one of the higher paid areas for personal trainers. So if you're thinking about staying in the personal trainer field, New York would be a good place for you to stick around. Okay, the personal trainer's position. Program costs to be considered for business planning. So these are all things that could be really expensive. So marketing, administrative, meetings, uniforms, taxes, insurance, and education. So marketing, it's a really good idea to use social media as a way to market and that kind of thing, because honestly, it's one of the cheaper ways. Yeah. Business success, need to establish and maintain repeat business. So you need to basically establish a clientele and you want them to keep coming back to you. Yeah. So pricing concepts, you need to consider the following questions when deciding how to price your services. So who is the buyer? How does the buyer decide on the value of your services? What are your business objectives when setting prices? And then who are your competitors and what do they offer? Is the competitive market a major, if not primary, determinant in setting prices? Who is the primary leader in establishing the customer's perception of values? So basically, if your competitors have services that are half off compared to yours, more people might want to go to your competitors instead. So you need to kind of look at their pricing to determine how to set your pricing. Managing a personal training department. Managed department while also training clients. Organizational skills and time management are crucial. So you really need to have good management skills if you're going to own a business. You need to have skills for interviewing, hiring, employee training, service pricing, marketing, sales, and policy setting. So hiring a personal trainer, you need to review the resumes very carefully, request copies of their current certifications, create a list of questions, assess the candidate's availability and scheduling preferences, require a demonstration of techniques, and a practical component consisting of fitness assessments. So you want to make sure that they're able to do all the things they say they can do on their resume. So recruiting and selecting your team, you can read this here if you want. It's just a little bit about the interview process. Generally, you want to have several interviews with someone before you hire them. Setting training standards. So undivided attention to clients. You need to start and end sessions on time. Standard dress code. So you just want to come across as very clean and professional. Written documentation of all workouts, measurements, and tests. Confidentiality policy. Honesty and scope of practice standards. So you really need to make sure you're staying within your scope of practice. And certifications and insurance. Empowering personal trainers. So encourage personal trainers to read, learn, and stay current. So read trade journals and publications, encouraging continuing education and recertification, provide in-house continuing education, encourage meetings to share ideas, promote discussions about training sessions, pricings, and conception. So it's really important. You need to always be learning. So even as you graduate, you should always be continuing education, staying on top of current articles and that kind of thing. Fitness management. So set a schedule, use a time management system, train staff to follow routines, procedures. So like having them turn in their timesheets and everything on time, handle personal issues in a timely manner. I think personal issues you should really try to leave outside of work if possible. Train staff in processes of providing quality customer services, delegate tasks, and lead by the example of a healthy lifestyle. So I always think about like when choosing a hairdresser, you're not going to go to a hairdresser that has like a messed up haircut. You're going to want to go to a hairdresser that has the best haircut, and you're going to feel confident and you're going to trust them. So that kind of relates to this. Starting a business. So before you start a business, evaluate different business models. So choose a model for your business entity. So here's some of the business models we're going to be going over and touching on just a little bit. So sole proprietorship. It's the simplest and least expensive. One person owns the business and you just need a state or city license. Personal income tax paid on earnings. Some of the drawbacks are capital expenses, personal liability, and lack of assistance if personal trainer is absent from work. Independent contractor. They provide services for individuals or businesses, and they're paid by clubs, not the client. So the club determines percentage of training fees received. Partnership. Business is formed by two or more people, so personal income tax paid on earnings based on each partner share, loosely governed by state and federal regulations, allows pooled financial resources. So some of the drawbacks here, ownership transfer may be difficult. Each partner is liable if another partner fails to meet obligations. So if you're going into a partnership, you really need to make sure you have another individual that you trust and respect in a partner who's reliable. Corporation, it's a formal business entity. They're subject to laws, regulations, and demands of stockholders. So the legal entity completely separate from owners and managers. So ownership more easily transferred than sole proprietorship than partnership. S corporation, limited risk and exposure of personal assets. There's no double taxation on both salary and business income, and it allows for freedom for each partner to distribute dividends. Limited liability company. So that's flexible for small to medium sized businesses, and articles of organization must be filed with the Office of the Secretary of State. So basically, you want to review those business models and choose whatever one would be best and the most beneficial to your situation. No excuses. I love the little snowman.
I'm going to take over from here. So administration, it's to establish and administer a business. First, develop a business plan. The first step involved in creating a solid business plan is a comprehensive demographic analysis. This would be examining the total number of people, number of households, household income, number of families, and a variety of other population characteristics. Thoroughly evaluate the competition inside the market area. So what the market area kind of is just like a 2 to 10 mile radius around your operation. And what doing this does is it provides a preliminary answer as to if your business is going to be successful in the area that it's in. Almost all facilities offer PT, so you might want to think about what can I offer that every other facility doesn't have? How can I cater to the demographic around my area better than the rest of the businesses around here? Establishing a budget. Perform a market analysis to develop an annual budget. Estimate the annual business expenses. Determine a realistic number of training hours annually. Determine the charge per session to cover business expenses, personal expenses, and training. So the first step in beginning to establish a budget is determine what your sales goals are. And you can do that by figuring out the projected number of training sessions over the period of a week, a month, a year, and the average rate per session. This gives you an idea of how much is incoming. That way you can plan as to how much is outgoing. Management and policies. Establish a business plan with the following: a vision, a mission statement, a business values, business service description, and a business model. So here is just a graph of a sample mission statement. For the Personal Training Academy, their vision is to grow profitably by delighting customers and achieving undisputed leadership in the field of personal training. Their mission is to create value for share owners through our marketplace leadership in personal training and fitness programming that helps all of our clients achieve their goals. And values include integrity, honesty, and the highest ethical standards. So kind of people get vision, mission, and values mixed up, especially the difference between a vision and a mission. So a vision describes the desired future of the business. Your mission defines what the business is, what your objectives are, and how you're going to meet them. And values are kind of just like a combination of both your mission and your vision statement. Taking components from each and figuring out what exactly do you hold to the highest of standards in your business or your company. Great. So management and policies continued. Operational policies, these include billing, cancellation, late arrival, vacation, payment, and insufficient funds. How you go about setting those is like for billing, do you want them to prepay or do you want to bill them monthly? Payment methods, are you going to accept cash, check, credit, debit card? And what would you do if they are unable to pay? If you get that insufficient funds notice, are you going to charge them? Are you just going to let it be? Is there going to be some sort of penalty? So marketing. Market niche represents a client group with similar needs and goals. Select a market niche by determining the following: the client type, training needs, and training location. So client type could be like gender, their age, fitness level. Are you working with, like training needs would be, are you working with athletes? Does it need to be specific to sports? Prenatal, older adults, location, are you going to people's houses? Now it's emerging more than ever. Are you teaching online or training online? Are you working in a facility or some type of other location like a sports facility? Are you in a hospital training people there? All right, so strategies to attract clients. That would be a client referral, lead boxes, advertising, alliances with homeowner associations and realtors, direct mail, and community involvement. So the best way is to attract clients is through client referral. A big company that we all know, it's here in Plattsburgh, Planet Fitness, uses solely client referral to gain clientele. You don't see them in commercials. The most you would see for their marketing approach is a poster outside their building. Other than that, it's strictly by word of mouth. What exactly a lead box is it's a box, it's a literal box placed inside a business that is your target market. And this is a way to get yourself names and leads, which could eventually turn into prospects through your reaching out. For when it comes to ads, it's not the best way to market just because they can be expensive, especially if you're first starting out. And there's also a low return rate. We can skip ads nowadays. We can change the channel with streaming. If you pay, you don't have to see them. So especially now, it's very hard to get return for, I guess the best way to put it is like the bang for your buck when it comes to ads. So continue, strategies to attract clients, reputation management, promotional materials, and strategic alliance. So when it comes to your reputation, you want to enhance your public image. You don't want to tarnish it. So kind of develop like what they call a press kit for your personal training services or your business. And issue regular press releases, give the public positive information about your services and what you do, show your face, volunteer to speak at things. And kind of what a strategic alliance would be is you create a business partnership. So say there's this nutritional company that you want to work with and they promote you, you promote them, and it's kind of an exchange of goods and an exchange of clients. It gives you leads that could turn into prospects. So again, client referral, the most focused strategy focuses on generating prospects and clients. It involves existing clients providing the names of potential new clients, provide clients with referral cards to hand in names of prospects. Incentives are typically given to clients from providing referrals. It's an ongoing strategy. The biggest, benefit of client referral is the fact that it's free. So lead boxes provides a very low rate of return. It's a source for leads, placed in business locations that tend to serve customer bases that are demographically similar to the targeted audiences. Businesses are given awards for allowing the lead boxes to be placed in their locales. Advertising is the most expensive and lowest rate of return on investment. But it does help build brand recognition in the marketplace. It enhances your image, creates leads, or occasionally generates prospects. Shotgun approach to reaching clients versus more targeted methods. You can use, they're on cable television, radio, newspapers, billboards, and external or internal signage are examples of this method. The best way to use advertising is to provide a call of action. It creates a sense of urgency and establishes a deadline. It gets people wanting to go there. That could be like a special promotion, like limited time only. They want to get in on that deal. And last thing is know the marketing target niche before the advertising medium is selected. Alliances with homeowner associations and realtors. Homeowners associations and realtors whose customers match the organization's target market should be engaged in the process. Homeowners and realtors can provide the names of new people in the area. A strategy involves providing the homeowners associations or realtors with a certificate or letter to give to customers that offers some complimentary service. Direct mail. The return rate for this technique is usually 1 to 3% for mailed pieces and 7 to 15% for emails. Technique for creating leads or turning leads into prospects. More focused technique than advertising. Advertisements are very general and they want to apply to a bunch of people, but direct mail and emails should be more specialized. You want to engage with that person. You want to pull them in and get them interested in your business. Direct mail lists from agencies should be used. The piece that is mailed is typically simple with an attention-grabbing call to action and normally incorporates an incentive to create urgency and generate an action response. Something like this could be like a very flashy brochure with a good cover that makes you want to open it up and see what's inside. Community involvement. Create relationships to uncover prospects. Create a specific image within the community and becoming a recognized professional in the community. Become active in community organizations. Host community events in the training facility. Volunteer as a speaker. Join small business groups. Enhance the public image. Reputation management. Enhance the public image of the organization. Over time, this approach can be a great source for prospects. Develop a press kit on the personal trainer or the business as a whole. Establish positive relationship with the local media. Regularly issue press releases of human interest involving the club and following up with the media. Promotional materials. These help to convert leads to prospects or prospects to members. Materials are designed to create a positive image of the business and to help educate consumers on personal training in general, the business and its personal trainers. Websites, print brochures, and video brochures are examples of this technique, normally given to leads and more often to prospects. Strategic alliances. Create partnerships between businesses and organizations with similar target audiences. Good at bringing in leads and prospects, involves cross-marketing between the businesses. The customers of each business become potential customers for the other partner in alliance group. So sales, use all available resources, proactively cultivate warm market suspects to convert them to prospects, and finally ask the prospect for the sale. Sale is an agreement between the personal trainer, client, and at times the facility where the training session will occur. So a common mistake that's used is to think that signs, flyers, and brochures are going to get you all your clients. There's a low percentage of that. It has a low return rate. So it's very important that you get on the floor and you engage with people and you get the clients to see your face and to see what you can do. And then ask for the sale. Don't be apologetic. You know your worth, you know your education. And don't be afraid to, just go up to them and ask. Yeah. All right, so sales continued. So step 1, making contact, which means to get your foot in the door. This is approaching members. Go up to them, see how they're doing. Offer some small suggestions, small advice. Something that you could help them with while you were observing or while you were talking to them. Step 2 is to build rapport. You want them to trust you. Essentially you want them to trust you to help them reach your goals, take personal mental notes on them, get to know them. And then step 3, assessing need. The personal trainer needs to shut up and listen. So you need, as the personal trainer, you need to know what they want and why exactly they want that. And a way to do that is by asking them open-ended questions. Step 4 is the T's. So what this means is that you train them for 5 to 10 minutes, or you show them a new exercise, or you help them with their form, you spot them, you do something to show them what you can do, which gets them interested in working with you more closely and for longer periods of time than just for 5 minutes on the floor. Step 5 is presenting a winning proposition, asking for the sale like we talked about earlier. Step 6 is the close. Don't give them a yes or no choice. Give them an either or a yes and yes choice. This prevents you from shutting the door on yourself. It leaves it always open to come back and revisit the idea of you training them. You know, every no should be considered an opportunity for the prospect to become your client. So always keep the door open. That also goes into step 7, the fallback, opening the back door. You know, it's just keeping in mind that a no is not a hard no. It's an opportunity to engage with them more, build that trust, build that rapport, and revisit it again later. Step 8 is keep in mind it's a numbers game. So what that means is keep asking. You know, use your discretion. Don't be so persistent that you come off as annoying and, you know, overambitious. But once someone tells you no or maybe, don't just leave them alone. Revisit it. Come back to it. So this graphic says the fitness facility-based personal trainer sales checklist. So this is things like be proactive, approach them, build rapport, sell the benefits of personal training, sell the benefits of working with you specifically. What can you do to help them? Be empathetic, see their world as if it was your own, be genuine, be warm, be a good communicator and listener, especially be a good listener, get to know your clients. View this relationship as a win-win. You know, you're winning because you're able to get the experience and the ability to train someone. They're winning because they're able to meet their target goals and do that in a timely manner through your guidance. Clients take control of their goals by using an expert's assistance. Personal trainers practice their profession, increase their earning potential. The facility enhances the service delivered to clients by providing one-on-one management of the member. And always, always, always ask for the sale. The more prospects you ask, the more sales you will make. All right, so pricing. Specific pricing and budget need to be addressed. Typical expenses include direct expenses such as salaries, operational expenses such as facility use charges, general business objectives such as profit or number of sessions, and ultimately prices will be based on the market value. And just in order to find market value, you have to do a market analysis. So market analysis, that is demographics, competitive analysis, consumer surveys, demand projections, financial considerations, and focus groups. So when it comes to demographics, like we talked about earlier, how many prospects are in the area? Competitive analysis, what are other PTs charging for their services? What do you have to offer that makes your PT worth it? What consumer surveys, what are the prospective clients' perceived values, demand projections, how big is the market, financial considerations, what is required to meet the budget, and then the last one, focus groups, what are the perceived needs of prospects. So pricing continued. Consider the 4 E's: education, experience, environment or location, and expenses. You know, education, do you have your bachelor's? Do you have your master's? What is it in? What are your certifications? Experience, how many years have you been in the field? What type of training did you do? What populations did you work with? Are you specialized? Are you not? Environment, where exactly are you? And then the last one, just expenses. Those are, equipment, clothing, travel expenses, insurance, things like that. Business planning, budgets. Forecast your financial expectations and goals. Provide accountability. Track the progress of actual versus projected results. Allow justification and scrutiny. Consider computer and software. Consider legal and accounting professionals. It's just something to know. Building a budget without a computer is not easy. And they have simple software for people who are just starting out to begin to use, and that's something like QuickBooks, MYOB, and Quicken. Professional standards. So the Code of Ethics for ACSM certified and registered professionals, personal training in line with other professions and healthcare disciplines. So just where you can find the Code of Ethics is in chapter 1 on page 21. Make sure you read through that. Something that they want you to keep in mind is what this does is it helps you maintain a high level of ethical conduct between both the public and the professional. An example of this for the public is to provide competent and legally permissible services, so working within your scope of practice. For the professional, maintain within high professional standards. Present yourself in a professional manner. Have good relationships with your clients and also people within your field. Take home points. It is no longer true that the best technical personal trainer is the most successful. Whether the personal trainer is going solo or is a manager of a large personal training department within a fitness center, today's personal trainers need to be proficient in both exercise science and business management. Only by combining these varied skills can they ensure their success and that of their clients.